Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Kevin DeVarrell reporting live, literally live, on this beautiful Friday. But guess what? It's more than just a Friday. It's also a national day called Quitter's Day. Do you have any idea what Quitter's Day is? That's what I want to address number one first. Quitter's Day is the second Friday in January every single year when a high percentage of people who make New Year's resolutions fall off the wagon and they quit their resolutions. Why do you think that is? Let's come back to this in a second after we do a movement break. We have to do a movement break because it's the middle of the afternoon and we don't want to end up having bad posture and we don't want to misalign our organs and our lungs and stuff like that. So I'm going to step back there. You're going to follow along and you're going to do this movement break with me. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring our arms out to our sides like this in a T formation, and we're going to do a spinal rotation. And as we do this, we're going to raise our opposite leg in the air like this. So we're going to do basically a crossbody pattern, and we're going to open up our shoulders, and we're going to work on our balance and flexibility all rolled into one, and you're going to look like a graceful cheetah when you do it. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Arms up. This is my right leg. This is my right side that I'm going toward. So we're going to go opposite arm toward opposite knee. Left hand, right leg. Ready? Here we go. We're going to twist, and then we're going to twist this way. Try to keep your arms nice and level to the ground. Keep your eyes looking forward or up at a slight angle. So in the middle of the afternoon, when you're sitting for long periods of time, get up out of your chair and do this movement break. And if you do something like this, you can reverse the effects of Quitter's Day. And if you do this in a slow and controlled motion, you're still going to get your heart rate up and you're going to burn a decent amount of calories. And you're going to do your body justice. And we always want to do something good for our body. Okay? There's your movement break. Incorporate that into your daily routine. Now, let me come back to a nice, comfortable seated position. Actually, got my heart rate up. I think I burned about 5 calories. Quitter's Day. Why? Why do we have Quitter's Day? Well, here's why. Because on December 22nd or 23rd, when you start going to your holiday parties, and right before Christmas begins, people start talking big game to all their friends and family members saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. On January 1st, I'm going to quit smoking, quit drinking, stop eating late at night. I'm going to start fasting. I'm going to give up sugar. I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm going to work out for an hour a day. And they come up with all these resolutions. They start writing them down. They try to commit them to memory. And they try to let the universe kick in and get them in the possession of that which they want. The problem is, no pun intended, but you people that make resolutions that are that big, you're biting off more than you can chew. When it comes to making grand changes, you should always think long-term in the long scheme of things. Think in terms of small, measurable, manageable goals and achievements that can give you momentum. Don't think about going to the gym 6 days a week, 60 minutes a day. I promise you, you're going to fall off the wagon. You're going to end up on Quitter's Day doing nothing because you tried doing it and it was too overwhelming for you. And then you got nervous and then you got stressed out. Just the mere thought of going to the gym that often or that much freaked you out. The mere thought of giving up your Haagen-Dazs ice cream completely freaked you out. The mere thought of giving up a 6-pack of Guinness every single night freaked you out as well. So instead, work in reverse order. Here's what's happening right now. You drink a 6-pack of Guinness a night, you have an entire carrot cake, even though if it's vegan and clean from Whole Foods, you might eat the whole thing in 2 days, and you're eating it late at night, and you have ice cream with it in bed while you're serial watching Netflix. Well, guess what? Start there and say, holy smokes, let me work in reverse order, and what can I do to avoid Quitter's Day? Instead of having a whole entire cake this week with ice cream, 2 scoops of vanilla bean ice cream, I'm going to cut it down to 1.5 scoops of vanilla bean ice cream and cake. And I'm going to do that for a week. And guess what? After the week is up, you're like, oh, that wasn't so hard. I feel a little bit of momentum. Actually, I think I might have lost a quarter of a pound. Next week, I'm going to cut it down to 1 scoop of ice cream. And then you take it and you keep going smaller and smaller and smaller. And you make increments that are more manageable and easier. And then with the gym situation, you do the same exact thing. Instead of saying, I'm going to go to the gym for 60 minutes at a time, right now I'm doing 0 exercise, but I plan on going to the gym 6 days for 60 minutes. Guess what? How about 5 minutes a day from home first? How about 5 minutes 3 days a week even? Start there. So what I'm getting at is start with micro goals, small, very small goals, and then work your way the opposite direction. If it's a bad habit you're trying to get rid of, then you're already here at this big massive heap of that habit. So start decreasing it little by little by little by little by little in 1 to 2 week increments. And then after 3 to 4 months down the road, you're going to be in a position where that cake that you're eating with the ice cream becomes all of a sudden crumbs, if anything at all. or it becomes a healthy substitute like date coconut rolls, which I absolutely love, which I need to go to the store and get some, as a matter of fact, because I'm out of them. And with the gym thing, you start with 5 minutes of walking 3 days a week, and then you increase it to 4 days a week, and then 5 days a week, and then get to a point where you're doing 5 minutes of walking 7 days a week. Then do 1 day of weight training for 5 minutes in conjunction with your walking. And then you go the opposite direction and start getting to a point where you need to go to the gym because you're exhausted your possibilities at home, or you're bored from working out at home. And then you need more things like kettlebells and tools that you don't have. And then you go to the gym and then you do a 30-minute workout once a week, and then you start increasing it there. So the bottom line is this: Quitter's Day is there because we make goals that are too unachievable in the beginning. Start small and grow tall. Always work in that order. Otherwise, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to freak out, and your cortisol levels are going to rise, and you're probably going to gain weight, and you're probably going to fall off the wagon, and bad things are going to happen. We want to create an environment physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually that is going to be favorable for us to achieve monumental success that cannot be underspoken. Am I back? Okay. I swear, I'm on all these no-call lists, and my phone just blazes all day long with all these junk calls. And I'm now getting text messages and stuff, and people think they know me. And I play along with some of them, but it's very annoying. Anyway, enough with the trash call stuff. That's my take on Quitter's Day. Start off with small goals and work your way upward. Another interesting fact about Quitter's Day, I know, I'm like Quentin Tarantino, I'm all over the place. New Year's resolutions were actually founded by the Babylonians 4,000 years ago. Did you know that? I did not know that. I just found out today. And their calendar year actually started in March. I don't know if that has any bearing on the fact that we are in January when we start resolutions or whatever, but I found that interesting fact out when I was doing a little research earlier today. Overall, in the big picture, you should also honor yourself where you are at all times, even in the times of your nastiest, ugliest moments, where you look in the mirror and you think you're disgusting looking, or you think you're fat, or you think you're ugly, or you have too many wrinkles, or whatever. There's this thing called reality, man. And on social media, they've done a great job over the past 5 to 10 years, more recently though, than 10 years ago, of blowing things up and making things so unrealistic that it's ridiculous. If you've watched any of my shorts or any of my videos, I try to be as raw and real life as possible. And I do that when I walk down the streets. I do it when I walk into the gym. I do it when I go to Whole Foods. I do it when I'm running barefoot up the road in the middle of summer. And anytime you see me or meet me in person, I am as transparent as they come. And I do that deliberately because I'm not photoshopped when I walk down the streets. I try not to do it when I'm on social media. And I try to give people the straight dope at all times. And what you see on social media is not always what you get. As a matter of fact, you rarely do. A lot of it is completely fake. You see fake ads, you see fake people, you see people that are doing all kinds of things to try to scam you into believing in their initiatives. Be very careful of that. What I'm getting at is there is no super fast way to get into good shape. Not mentally, not physically, not emotionally, nothing. It takes work, it takes practice, it takes time. But it is absolutely real if you do the things that you're supposed to do. And you approach the situation knowing that you're going to have some good days and you're going to have some bad days. But I've said this in the past, I'm going to say it again. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. The most important thing is that you keep getting up every time you fail and you try to do a little bit better. You get 1 inch farther every single day. If there's a day that comes and you're like, I'm so mentally distraught today, I don't want to go to the gym, I don't even want to go outside, I don't want to go in public. And guess what? On those days, don't go to the gym, don't go out in public, put a hood on over your head, put a face mask on, wear a luchador mask from Rey Mysterio himself. I don't really care. Just deal with it and then know that it's going to be short term. I promise you, within 1 to 2 days, things can change in your favor. That kind of stuff never lasts forever. The only time that chronic depression and anxiety lasts is when you allow it to. You have the ability and the strength to get past those things. You have to see yourself in possession of that which you want. And if a bad day comes, I have them too. I have plenty of them, trust me. But I know they're short term, and within a day or two, they're gone. And then I forget that they even happened a couple days down the road. You have to have resiliency. That is the key thing. That's the most important thing. If you watch a football game, football players have resiliency like you wouldn't believe. I watched Penn State last night get beat in a game that they had no business losing, I might add. Sorry, all you Notre Dame fans out there. If it wasn't for a certain individual, I'm not going to mention his name or his number, but it kind of rhymes with baller, just saying. If it didn't happen for one single play, Penn State would have won that game. However, resiliency was the ticket throughout that whole game. The running back gets smashed, he gets up, runs back to the huddle, gets up, runs again, he gets smashed, he gets back up, and he comes back. He's got resiliency. And the said player that I'm talking about, he's going to have to dig really deep right now, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are Penn State fans who can't stand this guy, who is going to be blamed for the loss. He's got to have resiliency. And I don't even know what's going on in his head. I'm super angry at the outcome of the game, but I can't imagine what's happening to him. He's probably getting death threats from people across America. In the big picture, it always comes down to resiliency. It's how can you bounce back? And I mean, Rocky said it best it was Rocky Balboa. The movie was called Rocky Balboa. When he said, it doesn't matter how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep getting up and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Something along those lines. And although it was a fictitious movie, that line resonated with me way back in 2007 when that movie was released, or maybe it was 2006. And I've never forgotten about it. And every time I'm having one of those days where I don't want to go outside, where I want to hide my face and bury my head in the sand, I just think about that. I'm like, it doesn't matter how hard you get hit. It matters how hard you get hit and keep coming up and keep getting up and keep coming forward. Always remember that. It is absolutely 100% true and foundational. When you're having those days, just know that they're short term. You just breathe through it. And in the present moment, when you're having those bad days, do whatever it takes to make yourself happy and literally ask yourself the question. And even if you have to do it out loud, that's totally fine. I am so depressed and anxious right now. I don't know what to do. I want to bury my head in the sand. I don't want to go out in public. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to face anyone. And then stop, pause, take 3 breaths, close your eyes and say, what can I do right now that's going to make me happy? Or at least put me in the direction of being happy. And for me, it always comes down to a couple basic things. It's fasting, it's fitness, it's exercise, it's eating clean. That's it. Case closed, end of story. That is what I want you, every single one of you, all 2 of you, or how many people watch my videos or pay attention to whatever the hell I say, which millions of people should, but they don't. And that's fine. It's up to you. But that's the main piece of advice I want you to take into 2025 with all guns blazing. Take that advice into 2025 gunslinging and gun banging. And look in the mirror every day and flex your arm and say, I am the man or I am the woman. I will succeed. I am doing great things. I am doing good deeds for this earth. And I put good chi out into the universe. And you just keep reciting mantras like that every single day and watch what happens. Switches are going to be flipped. You'll never have to worry about Quitter's Day again. And as far as New Year's resolutions go, I've said it before in the past. I'll say it again. I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions personally. I'm just constantly setting goals. And every single month I do a check-in and I find out what is causing me good chi and bad chi in my life. And I get rid of the bad and I add more of the good and I shift my focus toward that which is serving me positively and not negatively. And those are just some simple things you all can do as well. So all that being said, I've talked your ear off enough. I'm going to get rolling. I have to do some vacuuming and take the dog out. It's Friday. It's a wonderful Friday. It's getting cloudy. Hopefully we'll get some snow here in Park City. Let me know how you guys are making out with your resolutions. Let me know how you're fasting. Let me know how your workouts are going. Let me know if you are dropping off a wagon. And let me know if there's anything else that you utilize as a motivating factor to keep you up and running through every single new year, especially this one coming up in 2025. Sound good? Okay, cool. Until next time, it's Kevin David Rail reporting live.